don't see the forgive me not for not. Oh,
That's all right, no problem. We'll check them. So welcome to week 11, everyone. Can you believe it? We only have one more week of class after this week. Next Thursday is our last day of class.
wow.
That's our last day of class.
I see your
So
meet you again.
yeah, I would love to have you guys in my level 3 class. It's going to be a different book. So it'll be new for me and new for you guys too.
Yes,
But
but the book I can see it. I don't want to on the computer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy it.
because I don't know my MacBook they have problem. I cannot open the e-text.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like having a paper book. The reason I suggested the e-text is because number one, it's faster to get it.
Yeah.
Or two, it's cheaper. But you guys are right. I mean, I think having a paper book is really good. What I'm planning on doing is posting the material a week before the class starts. So I'll put it in Blackboard a week before our Grammar 3 class starts. And that way you'll have the book information there. And I'll probably have like a little video on how to buy the book. But it's from the same publisher. And I can also email you the title if you want. I can send you the title of the book anytime. But let's talk about these 3 announcements, and then we're going to do a warm-up activity. So last day is next Thursday, okay? We have to shorten a couple of things. We are not going to do the chapter 13 test next Friday. It will actually be due next Wednesday. We're going to finish chapter 13 this week, and then we check our homework on Tuesday of next week, and then your chapter 13 test is due on Wednesday of next week. So it's just a little bit shorter of a window of time to do that. And that will be your last graded item, okay? Just the chapter 13 test. So this week, you still have your Go React video that I'm going to grade, and you have a lab assignment this week. That's due on Friday, on November 6th. But next week, you only have one thing to turn in, and that will be your last thing. That's the test. Chapter 14 kind of slipped away from me. I actually covered your adjective clause chapter instead of giving time for the noun clauses. So we ran out of time to do all of chapter 14. But what I'm going to do next Tuesday is give you just a brief overview of noun clauses, and we'll just leave it with that. I'll probably give you a little bit of homework and give you the answers to the homework, but we'll make it short and simple. I'm not going to grade you over chapter 14. We just don't have time to do it, to do the whole chapter. And so we're just going to focus on the first 2 parts of that chapter, and it's just for extra practice. And then announcement number 3, we'll have an online party next Thursday. Yeah, Walter's super happy. So I'm not going to do a recorded lesson next Thursday. We'll just kind of meet together. We'll check our homework and then talk to you guys a little bit. I feel like we've been rushed a lot through this semester, and there's so many questions I still have about you guys, and I just think we can have a good discussion time together. And my goal is to maybe share with you some tips and some suggestions for being successful in the United States. And we can just talk about anything that's on your mind um, on that day. So if you can join us, great. If not, it's not a big deal. It's just a free day. Okay, so next Thursday is our last class day. That's the last day that you can check Blackboard, look at your grades, and that sort of thing, because I'm going to post grades or record them with the college on Friday morning. So I want everything to be turned in. I'm going to grade everything by Thursday so you can check your grades, make sure everything's good, and then Friday it will be gone, so we won't be able to look at it anymore. So everything's kind of going to finish really quickly here. And at 2, I just saw you asked a question. You would like to take the TSI test again. Okay, and that's another thing we can discuss next week too on Thursday. I can tell you guys all about the TSI test and how you can take it, what's on it. TSI reading part of the test just to see what it was like. So that's good news. But I can tell you guys more about the test next week in our discussion. So think about that. Think about questions you have, and we can go over that during our party next week. Any questions about these announcements?
No.
Are you guys kind of bummed that we didn't get to do all of chapter 14? I'm a little bit bummed. I wanted to go over all of noun clauses, but we ran out of time. So okay, no questions. Everybody's good?
Yes.
I think too, you're writing something on.
Something going
Check it out.
on?
Is you right? She's writing something for you. If you can go ahead and read them
Who's writing something?
too.
Stu, are you writing something to me?
I write on the chat, but I just thought explain about the TSI test.
Yeah. Yes, I already mentioned that that we're going to talk about the TSI and during the party next week. I can answer all your questions about it. Yeah. So and I'm also teaching writing level 2, and we're going to write essays. So you can take my class if you want.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
so
taking right now.
what?
Right now.
Are you guys writing essays in the class?
No.
In reading or writing?
Read. Writing. You said writing, right?
Yeah. She's talking about writing.
I understood reading.
Yeah, she's talking about writing. Okay.
I have to take writing, but level 1.
Okay. Yeah. I think you'll definitely be ready for level 1 because I've seen your writing already. It's pretty good. It's better than some of my level 1 students when they. Okay, so let's do a couple of these exercise 19 sentences, and then we'll go back and check all the homework. So it looks like 2 wrote several sentences here. Okay, but we'll start with this one. Number 18, Jake's not very good at cutting his own hair. Okay, we have a small problem with this. Oh, Jake, Jake's, because the apostrophe S is is. Jake is not very good at cutting his own hair. Good. So this was one of the things we talked about last week is the prepositions at with before a gerund. So that one's good. Let's look at this one. I guess this is supposed to be Jake's, right? Not
Yes,
take.
I think sentence.
Yeah, but we don't want to use for. This one needs to go with at. At is correct. Good at. At riding motorcycles.
I don't think so.
Even though he's been in 2 accidents, but they weren't your fault, so good at. Okay, the next one, are you interested in going to the beach with us? That's correct. We're using in. And then the next one, Tariq insisted on paying the restaurant bill. That's correct. Insisted on. And the next one at the bottom, I don't feel for eating right now. Uh-oh, we have a mistake. We need to change for. Anybody know what we need here?
Like,
Yeah. Now, like is going to be a preposition, not a verb in this case. Okay. So, 2, you can look at the top of page 352. Look in that box. 2, look on the left side, and you'll see it says feel like. Feel like. Do you see that too? And then I'm on the sentence. I'm on yours is correct. I don't feel like eating right now. Guys, so there we go. That's a quick little review of what we did with those. Now let's check all of our homework. So we need to start with, let's go back to exercise 12. The right one, let me see here. No. Okay, so Amani, let's start with you on exercise 12.
Okay.
What happened here? Oh,
Give
that's
me
nice. This one is pair work. So just tell me what you put for, why don't you do number 2, 3, and 4 on exercise 12?
okay. Number 1, I wrote I like living in this city. You can put both gerund and infinitive. I like to live in this city.
Right.
Yeah. Number 3, I don't mind washing dishes. Number 4,
Good.
I
Mhm.
hate waiting in airport. Or
Good. That one's good.
I hate
Hmm.
to wait in the airport. Yeah. Number
I hate
5.
waiting. Okay, do
Yeah.
one more. Do number 5.
Okay. I love flying. I love to fly.
Okay, good. I love flying. I love to fly. All right, 2. Can you do 6, 7, and 8? 2, are you there? Uh-oh. Oh, two? We can't hear you. Oh, she's got bad reception.
Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We
So
asked
number
you, yeah, 6, 7, and 8.
yes, number 6. I like to eat food slowly. I like eating food.
Yeah.
I hate growing in the city.
Okay.
I go into party where I don't want.
Okay. Okay, you kind of cut out a little bit. For number 9, did you say I like going?
Go into the party.
Okay, it's kind of hard to hear you. I think the reception's bad. But yeah, for number 9, we could say I don't like going to parties, or I don't like to go to parties. Okay, and Walter, can you do last part?
Yes. Number 10, right? I don't
Yes,
like listening to music while I'm trying to fall asleep.
good. Mhm.
Number 11, I hate getting in between two friends who are having an argument. Number 12, I enjoy traveling to unusual places.
Okay, good. Enjoy traveling to unusual places. Yeah. All right, looking good. Now let's go over to exercise 14. Exercise 14, number 1, we should put eating, gerund, eating,
Yes.
to help.
Okay, cancel move.
Number 3, moving, gerund. Number 4, to go or going. Right? Number 5, to be. Number 6, living. And number 7, to give. Number 8, to say. Number 9, to sleep or sleeping. Number 10, trying. Number 11, to want, to leave. And then talking. We have questions on this one.
No.
All right, let's skip over then to exercise 19. And very, very important that you check these prepositions here. I'm going to circle the area here. It's on the left side of your screen. So all of these are going to have gerunds. So the gerund is the easy part. The hard part is choosing the correct preposition. So let me go through these with you. For, holding, about, being. Number 4, in, going. Number 5, for, being. Number 6, of, flying. Number 7, about, taking. Number 8, about, seeing. Number 9, on, paying. Number 10, about becoming, or you can use of becoming. Number 11, like eating. 12, for not writing. 13, of living. 14, in being. 15, on meeting. 16, for cleaning, entering. And 18, at cutting. Let me know if you have.
No, but I have another question before you go further.
Okay.
For example, if I have a sentence with more than one gerund or infinitive, like exercise scene, number 2, 3, 4, I have to describe more than one action. I have to follow the same rule. For example, if I use in this gerund in the first verb, the next one it has to be with gerund too. Of if I'm describing something with more than one infinitive. For example, number 3 in exercise 16, I want to
Yes.
stay home. And then I have a comma.
Yeah.
And the verb is relax.
Right. To bed early, yeah.
I can
Yes.
use.
You cannot switch back and forth like
Okay.
well, first of all, with number 3 we have want. So when we're using want, we put infinitives after it. To stay, relax, and go. You don't have to keep repeating the to stay, to relax, to go. So you can take that to out, but you have to keep the base form verb. You don't want to switch over to a gerund. But let's say you had another verb like.
Yes, and you can use both.
Well, let's say I like to stay home. What you're going to do, I'm typing it up here so you guys can see. What you want to do is keep it the same form, even though there are technically two possibilities, like the gerund and the infinitive can go after like.
Okay, you had to follow one.
Right. This is what we call parallelism in writing.
I got it.
Parallelism is like you're keeping them the same form. So if you start with a gerund in your list, you want to continue with gerunds. If you start with an infinitive in your list of things, you want to continue with the infinitive. So I can say I like to stay home, relax, and go to bed early. Or I like staying home, relaxing, and going to bed early.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense, Walter?
Yes.
Yeah, really good question there. So yeah, keep it the same form in your list. Okay, guys, let's go on to exercise 20, last one for this section, the listening practice. So exercise 22, we're looking at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And number 1, wanted to stay. Number 2, traveling. Number 3, number 4, unpacking. To travel. Number 6, wanted to take. Number 2, to stay. Number 8, be. Number 9, to do. 10, would like to take. 11, began talking. And 12, excited about seeing. Hey guys, let me know if you have a question on those. All right, so that was your homework, guys. Let's go ahead and look at our next section here. We're going to look at pages 355 to page 360 today. So let's start by talking about using by and with. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. We're going to talk about how to do things. How do you make a car go backwards? You would answer this question. Can anybody tell me how? Say.
I don't know.
Go back. Well, just push the brake and try to move the gear.
Okay, good. We're starting with something. You push the brake and you move the gear. The gear, we call that a gear, right? You
Right.
what you just used was called you just used a regular sentence like you put, but can we use by? So how do you make a car go backwards? By what?
By pushing the brakes and moving the gear. Oh,
Good.
yes.
So you use gerund phrases, and that is correct. So we can use a gerund after by to show how to do something. Here is we've got by plus a gerund, and it's showing how to do something. Okay, let's do another example. How do you make coffee? Can anybody try this one with using by?
I put the coffee in the machine and that's it.
Okay, you put it in the machine. What about the filter? You have to put a filter in there, right? Or no?
It's included in the machine. It's like really
Oh,
small.
the Keurig. You have a Keurig
Yes.
machine. What do they call those little things?
I don't
Like
know.
pods, I think.
No, I don't know. Really, I don't know.
Okay, and then you have to push a button.
Yes.
Okay, what button do you push?
Mm, the only
It's
button
Bruce.
that it has.
It can't get more simpler than that. In there and then push whatever button that is on.
It has only two buttons. One turn on to making the coffee.
Now that is a. It's
I
just
can
so
take a picture and show you.
about. I'm trying to make it into some gerund phrases here. So I said by putting the coffee pod and pushing through. So once again, we use by. Somebody wrote a sentence down there. What was that? You two? Okay, so you can use by plus a gerund. You can also use by plus a noun, or you can use with plus a noun. Okay, so we're going to talk about by and with. Let's look at the top of page 355. Top of page 355. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to write a sentence at the bottom, you can, and we'll check it. But I'm going to keep talking, okay? So the top of page 355, let's just listen for a moment here. You can see there's three different forms. By with the gerund, like Pat turned off the TV by pushing the off button. We can also use by with a noun. Mary goes to work by bus. Okay. Or how did you get to work today? By taxi. By the bus. Now, sometimes people would just say, I got a taxi, or I took the bus. How did you get to work? I took the bus. Yeah, we could just say it that way, but we can also use this short phrase. Another example is using with a noun, and Andrea stirred her coffee with a spoon. Is it okay to say, and Andrea stirred her coffee by a spoon? What do you guys think about that one? Because we said by a bus, so can we say by a spoon?
No.
Okay, you're correct. So there's a couple of things we need to note here about using by and with. When we use a gerund to say how you do something, we're not going to use with. Like Pat turned off the TV with pushing the off button. We're not going to use with, okay? So by can go with the gerund. That shows you the means or the way of doing an activity. Okay? So by with a gerund. When we use by with a noun, like by bus, these are going to go with specific types of nouns. So look in the box on page 355. By is used for means of transportation and communication. So by taxi, by train, that's transportation. By fax, by telephone, that's communication. So we're using this by with a noun of communication or transportation. Okay, so I could say, how do I get this document to you? You can say by email. Okay, so that's a means of communication. Now, with goes with, if you look at the bottom of the box, it is used for instruments or parts of the body. Instruments. What are instruments? Is that like the violin, the piano, guitar? What are instruments? Can anybody explain what that is? Yeah, go ahead.
So what?
Instruments. What does that mean?
Instrument?
Yeah.
Is a like instrument. Recipient instrument? Like
Is it like a
know.
piano, a guitar?
Oh yeah, yeah. Guitar, yes, something like that.
Okay, actually, it's not talking about musical instruments. It's talking about the utensils. So think of things that you use with your hands usually, like a spoon, a fork, a broom is considered like an instrument. It's basically an object that you use to do something. Now, we just talked about by going with transportation and communication, right? Well, a car is kind of like an object, but it's big. It's like a machine that moves, right? So that one goes with by car, by taxi, by train. And then communication is like the telephone. And that is an object, but it's a communication object. So we use that with by phone, by email. So with is going to go with other kinds of instruments, like a broom, a mop, a vacuum, and an axe or a hammer. Think of things that you use in order to accomplish something. And then they also have parts of the body, like with her finger, with her head. So those are ones that we use with. Okay, so let's do a little practice together. You guys are going to tell me if we need to use by or with, and then if we need a gerund or what type of noun we're going to put in the blanks. Actually, this one already has by in it. So I saw my former teacher by what last week? Anybody know what we can put here? You have to look in the box to really help you because you'll see a word in there. You see where it says other uses of by.
Wait, can you say, can you put like by Monday last week?
By mistake?
No.
By time, like by 12 last week.
Okay, we can use by with time. Like turn in your homework by Friday, right? But that's not saying how to do it, it's saying when. So that's a different thing. We're focusing on how to do it, not when. Okay, what about this one? I saw my former teacher by chance last week. This is an example of other types of nouns that kind of don't fit in the other categories. So can you guys see in the box where it says other uses of by? It has by chance, by choice, by mistake, by hint. Does everybody see that?
Yes. I see.
Okay. So that part, those right there are kind of like exceptions. They don't really fit into another category. So what does it mean if I say I saw my former teacher by chance? And does anybody know what that means?
Yes.
It was,
Okay, what
You
does
mean
that
go?
casual.
mean? What?
It was casual.
Casual? So not formal?
No. How do I say this?
You was it
It was not
wasn't
without
planning.
planning, yeah.
Without planning it. Yeah, that's what you were thinking of. So without planning, that's what by chance means. So another example, I was driving on the highway and I saw a car spinning out of the lane and I got past the car by chance. Okay, so that would mean without really even having control of it, without planning, without preparation. I just, by chance, I got away from the car and I didn't get hit. So that's what we use when we use by chance to show that. Another by that's not on your list is by accident. Have you guys heard of that before?
A lot.
Yeah. So something like, I took your cell phone by accident. Does that ever happen to anybody? Somebody takes something that's yours and they say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I took it by accident. And that means not meaning to. It's kind of like chance, but usually by chance is something positive that happens. Oh man, I got past that sliding car by chance. So that was a good thing. but I took your cell phone by accident. I'm so sorry. So that's more like something we didn't want to do by accident. Okay. Anybody have questions about any of these words or this idea that we're sharing here? Okay, good. So let's go to exercise 24 and let's just do number 2 together to make sure you know what to do. Page 355, number 2. We clean our clothes, blank, them in soap and water. So how can we create this sentence to show how we clean our clothes? Anybody want to guess? Yes, by washing. Is it okay to say we clean our clothes washing them? Or we clean our clothes to wash them? Or we clean our clothes with wash them? I mean, are there other possibilities here? What do you think?
Not really. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good because this is clearly telling how you do something. So to show that meaning, we want to follow this little structure. We want to use the by with the gerund. Okay, so let's turn the page and let's go to page 357 next. And we're going to talk about subjects and then using it with an infinitive. Okay, so we already talked about using gerunds as subjects. So can anybody give me an example, your own sentence, something that I did not say that would have a gerund as a subject?
Mm. Mm. Walking on the park is very excited.
Okay, so that's good. I'm going to use that as my example up here. Okay, walking in the park is very exciting. And you use the ing on exciting, right? Because this is a present participle. That means that we are describing the source of the feeling and not the feeling. So this walking is the source. It's what causes me to feel. So I use the ing exciting. So where is the gerund in this, Walter?
Walking.
Okay, good. And Amani, where is the subject in this sentence?
Walking.
The walking?
Exciting.
Uh-oh.
Walking. Not really. I think exciting. Oh no, not really. No,
No.
not really.
Exciting is a description of
Oh
something,
yeah, yes.
right? Like the movie was interesting. The movie was exciting. The trip was exciting. So we're describing something when we use exciting, and that's just an adjective.
Right.
So the subject is walking. Now you might say, well, what about park? Isn't park the subject? But the park is not exciting. It's the walk, it's the activity that's fun and enjoyable, okay? So we've got to use walking as a subject. Now, to remember when these are subjects, they're always singular. We never say walking in the park are.
Who is single?
singular. Here's another example to illustrate why. Hiking with my friends is. Notice how I'm using is again because the subject is singular. Hiking, it's one activity. Friends is not the subject. So I'm not going to use are. Now you can put two gerunds as a subject, like hiking and camping are fun activities, okay? That would mean two gerunds, so that would be plural. But if you just have one gerund as a subject, it's going to be singular. Okay, and welcome Fei Young. I see you just joined us. We are on page 357.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's talk about something else, and we're going to switch to infinitives next. Okay, we're going to use an infinitive after it. We can use, there's two different things we can use here. We can use it with is and adjective, and then the infinitive. Okay, so let me show that one first. Sorry guys, went offline there for a second. Okay, so if we have it with an adjective, it will look like this. I'm going to take Walter's sentence and kind of restructure it to use this. It is very exciting to walk in the park. So do you notice how the meaning of the sentence at the front with the gerund walking has the same meaning as the sentence with this infinitive? It is very exciting to walk. So they have the same meaning. It's just a different structure. So what I used was it is, and then I have an adjective. Okay, the adjective here is exciting. We already talked about that. And then I have the infinitive to walk. Okay, so that's how we create that structure. We can use that. Let me put this one up here because it looks like kind of confusing there. Okay, so let's do another one. Can someone change the sentence that I wrote? Hiking with my friends is fun. Okay, this sentence over here, we're putting the blue arrow. I want someone to change that. Okay, Fei Young. It looks like Fei Young beat you there, Walter. So we're going to write it over here. We want to start with it, and we want to use an infinitive. So we're keeping the same meaning, and you guys, if you're not, those of you who are not writing, you can put it on a piece of paper if you want, but we're looking at the same meaning, but we're making it into a sentence with an infinitive. Yeah, it is fun to hike with my friends. So we kept the same meaning, but we rearranged the structure, we changed it, and that is correct. Okay, let me give you another example that's really common. You guys have probably heard these before. It is important. Have you guys heard that before? It's important, and then somebody uses an infinitive. Like to get enough sleep. It's important to get enough sleep every night. Or here's another one with an adjective. It's tough It's tough to raise a family when both parents work full-time. So tough is the adjective. Tough means difficult. Okay. Can anybody think of another example with using it is with the adjective and an infinitive? Anybody want to share another example?
I am
It's
right.
easy or, yeah, go ahead. Amani, are you sharing something?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to move yours because I wrote on top of it. Okay, it is sad to hear my grandmother-in-law passed away last week. Right. It is sad to hear. Yeah, that's another common way that we use it is. It is easy to get to TCC. We use it a lot with it's easy or it's ready. Your order is ready to pick up. Okay, so those are a couple that you guys can use. Look at page 357. Let's try one of these together. Page 357 at the bottom. At the bottom of the page. It says number 6, walking alone at night is dangerous. So two, can you turn on your microphone and show me how I can make a sentence with it for number 6?
Yes. It's, it is dangerous to walk alone at night.
Yes, excellent. That's correct. Good job. Okay, so now let's take that idea and let's expand it a little bit more. Instead of using it is or is, we can also use takes or makes in some cases. So for example, it takes 10 minutes to get to TCC. It takes 10 minutes to get to TCC. So notice I have it, but I didn't use is. I used a different verb. I used takes. Okay. And then I have a noun. I've got 10 minutes, or I can also say it takes a long time to get. To get is the infinitive. Okay, so that's one way we can use infinitives as well. And then let's use one with it makes. This one goes a lot with makes sense. It makes sense to get a degree from TCC. It makes sense to get a degree from TCC. It's cheap, it's quick, and it's good education. It makes sense. So that's another example there. Yeah, your book doesn't have that, but I wanted to show you that because it's not always the be verb that we use in that case. Okay, now let's go to page 358. We're going to add something to this idea. Okay, so what this is they're adding the word for with someone, like for you, for her, for Amani, for Fei Young. We're adding the for with a person before the infinitive. So that's what you can do with these as well. So let me take my example with it's important to get enough sleep. Let me show you what we can do. It's important for kids to get enough sleep. So notice that I've just added for with a person. I still have the it is with the adjective. I got the infinitive. I just added for with kids. Another example, it's tough to raise a family. It's tough. I can add in here for me to raise my family. Or it's tough for, I don't know, just a group of people, right? We can add that between the adjective and the infinitive. Okay, so let's practice this one. Let's look at page 359. And I need Fei Young, I want you to do number 2, where it says teachers should speak clearly. Page 359, exercise 31. Fei Young, you're going to do number 2. And who wants to do number 3? Raise your hand. Okay, Walter, you got it first. So Walter, you do number 3. We're just doing 2 and 3. So Amani and 2, you guys are going to check and make sure they do it correctly. So what we're doing in exercise 31 is we're adding a for with a person, and then we're also using an infinitive. So number 1, it's really important for students to do their homework. Okay, so I'm going to clear this page quickly here. Fei Young, can you tell us number 2? What should we have?
I'm sorry, I forgot to. Okay, it's very important for teachers to speak clearly.
Yes, that's correct. It's very important for teachers to speak clearly. So notice with this, we do not say it's very important teachers to speaking, right? We didn't change the form for an ing. We didn't take out the for and just have important teachers. So each little part is important here. Okay, Walter, can you do number 3?
Yes. Okay. It isn't necessary for us to hurry. There's plenty of time.
Okay, that's good. Now you changed the we to us. Why? Because we're talking about we, so why can't we say it isn't necessary for we to hurry?
Because we là
Okay,
pronoun.
you cannot use.
Your classmates are ready to help you.
Yes, help me, please.
Okay, go ahead. Amani and 2, or Amani, you go first. What do you think?
You cannot use for with subject, so you have to change
Right.
it to be at least object.
Okay.
Good.
So yeah.
Okay, and 2, what were you going to say?
Yes, the same. Because
Okay.
for we
So remember we talked about prepositions like at, in, for, from, and we said after a preposition we need to have a noun, right? And that noun is going to be an object. So if we want to use a pronoun, we need to make sure that the pronoun is the object pronoun. So object pronouns are like me, us, them, him, her, it, you, Is that all of them? Yeah, there's 7. Okay, so those are the object pronouns. Okay, so that's tricky too, right? There's a lot of things to think about when we're making these sentences. Okay, so why don't we take a moment to practice these? I want each of you to make your own sentence up on the screen here. And you can use a infinitive like it is, or it takes, or it makes, or you can use the gerund as a subject that we talked about, or you can also use the for plus a person. Okay, so any
Okay,
examples that we've studied. Yeah. What, Amani?
okay. There's no way to change is and make it on the past. For example,
Good
it
question.
was something like that.
Yes, you can change it to it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So it was tough to do the last test. It was easy to register for this class. Yes, you can use it in the past. You can also, Amani, you can also change it, replace it with a noun. Like I could say, wait. Working with international students is easy to do. In that case, I use, instead of it is easy, I use the gerund as a subject, working. So yeah, there's some variation. There's some changes that we could make here. So I use this as a subject instead of it. Okay, good. So everybody should be making your own sentences up here and try to use some of the things we just talked about. Page 355 to 358. Just pick something. Okay, Fei Young's sentence looks good. Yeah. Okay, Amani, your sentence looks good. But Amani, we just need to add a. It was a pleasure. So you're using it with the be verb and a noun. Yeah. Instead of an adjective. Okay, well, your sentence looks great too. It is important to study at least 3 days before a test. Yeah. So in Walter and Fei Young, you guys both have adjective plus infinitive. And Amani has a noun plus infinitive. In that case, yeah, it was a pleasure to meet my neighbor. Okay. And 2, I know your reception was kind of bad. I don't know if you have time right now. Can you write an example sentence? It makes sense to practice at class. Okay. Now, because technically class is going to go with the word in. So I want to use in class. There we go. it makes sense to practice in class. That's good. And we are going to practice in class right now. We are going to do a game. And I want you guys to, I'm going to clear this screen.
How about the other one I wrote? That one is.
Oh, you wrote, oh, I
was
didn't see that. It takes a couple of hours to take a driving test. It takes a couple of hours. Yeah, you just need to use a. It takes a couple of.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a couple of hours to take a driving test. Yep. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's play a game now. I'm going to put some words on the board, the whiteboard, and then you guys are going to make sentences with those words. I want to do speaking, but it's really hard to do speaking when we have when we're online here. But we can try it. Let's try it with speaking first, and then if it's hard, we'll go to writing. So I'm going to clear the screen, and the instructions are use the word or phrase that I write on the screen to make your own sentence. You have to use a gerund or infinitive correctly. So I'm going to type a word or phrase, and then you guys are going to make your own sentence. Now, whoever gets the sentence correct first gets 2 points, and whoever gets a correct sentence will get 1 point. If you don't get it correct, you don't get any points. Okay, so we're going to do this with speaking first, because I want you to practice thinking and speaking. So don't write anything yet. Maybe we'll do writing in a minute. But what you are going to do is click on the raise your hand button. And whoever gets it first, you have to turn your microphone on and tell me your sentence. Okay, Walter. Walter, I didn't put anything up on the screen yet. Are you practicing? Okay, so you can turn your microphones on now if you want, but whoever clicks on the raise your hand button first gets to say their sentence first. Okay, are we ready? You have to use the words I put on the screen, okay? All right, the words are assisted in or assisted with. When you're ready, click on the raise your hand button. Kind of tricky.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you have to click on the raise your hand button for me to call on you when you're ready to share. Okay, Fei Young is ready. Go ahead, Fei Young.
My wife assisted with doing my writing essay.
Okay, so my wife assisted with what?
With writing essay.
Okay, or I thought you said doing my writing essay. Okay, so my wife assisted with writing my essay.
Oh,
Uh-oh, I'm going to tell your teacher. No, I'm kidding. It is okay to assist. Yes, assisted with writing my essay. Okay, that works. So you get 2 points.
Thank you.
So I'm putting 2 points for Fei Young. Now the second person to raise your hand, who was that? Somebody else raised your hand. Do you want to share one too? No, that was it. Okay, so Fei Young gets 2 points. Assisted with writing. All right, let me do the next one. Now these are designed to be a little bit challenging, okay? So you have to take time. So for the next one, it cannot be anything that I've already shared with you, okay? So the second one, you need to use important. Yeah, you need to use important with an infinitive, and it has to be in a question.
I raised, but I was talking. I forget
Oh, I
if I
didn't hear
muted
you,
my mic.
Amani. Oh no. Okay, let's just go to the second one. You have to use the word important with an infinitive, and it has to be in a question. Fei Young is dominating this game. Okay, Fei Young, go ahead. You get 1 chance.
Okay. Is it important to do your homework?
Okay, is it important to do your homework? Yeah, that's good. Fei Young gets 2 points. Okay, Walter, you were next.
Okay, why is important to take a drive test before drive a car?
Okay, I'm going to write down what I heard you say. Why is it important?
To take a drive test before drive a car.
Okay, I want to write this down because I have a few things to say. And yes, Amani, I'll get to yours in just a second. You said, Walter, you said why is important to take a drive test? Well, this part, important to take, is good, but where is your subject?
All right.
Uh-oh, we missed that one. So
Yeah.
we got to put it here after the is. Why is it important to take? Now, another tricky thing here is that test is a thing, and we want to describe the test. What kind of test is it? It's not a math test. It's not an English test. So we need to use a adjective form, driving test. Okay? And then another point, so you're bringing up a lot of good points here. The word before, you are using it as a preposition. So what comes after a preposition?
A gerund.
A gerund. So you can see, look at all these different forms of words that we need to use here. Driving test, that's adjective. And before driving, driving is a gerund. Okay, so take that one and think about that for a while. So sorry, no points for you, but it was a good
I
mistake.
tried.
Money, you get 1 chance. Go ahead.
I have like two. Do you think it's important to finish the test before the time given?
Oh, good. Do you think it is important to finish the test before the time given? Or we could say before the due date. Do you think it is important to finish the test? So, Amani, you get a point for that. Good. You have another one, Amani? I thought
No.
you said, okay. Okay.
I was gonna change that one. I was waiting for you to say no. Then
You got a backup one. No, that first one was good. Okay. All right, so the next one, let's do the third one. Okay. And we'll see if anybody can beat Fei Young, all right? At this point, we're just trying to beat Fei Young. So what you want to do is I want you to use ready with for and an infinitive. It's kind of tricky, so let's see if you can do this one. Click on raise your hand when you're ready to share. Oh, Walter. Okay, Walter.
The article is ready for us to read.
Yay! Good job. Okay, he said the article is ready for us to read. So that's good. Okay, so you get 2 points, Walter. You're in second place. Okay, Fei Young, it's your turn. Try this one. Go ahead.
I'm ready for going to work.
Okay, you made a really good mistake that I wanted to talk about. This is a very common mistake that students make. You said, I'm ready for going to work, right?
Yes.
Now let's think about this. You're thinking of for as like, oh, that's a preposition. I can use a gerund, right? But remember what we said with for. With for, we need to use a person. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, like for her, for my friend. And then we use an infinitive. In your case, you used to work as the place. Like I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to my job, to work. So that's a place. So it's not an infinitive.
Okay.
So you kind of missed 2 parts of that. But that's okay. It's a very common type of mistake. Let's go to Amani next. Amani, can you give us an example?
Oh yeah. Your order is ready to pick up at the store.
Okay, now you kind of cut out a little bit. You said your order is ready. What?
Is ready for you to pick up at the store.
Oh, did you say that the first time for you to pick up?
Yeah. I'm not
Okay.
sure, but it was in my mind. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it the first time. Okay, so your order is ready for you to pick up. That is correct, Amani. You get a point. Your order is ready for you to pick up. And 2 is doing writing here. I think it's easier maybe because of the reception. Is ready for kids to sleep. It is ready. What is it?
So yeah, this is sentence is I wrote down.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, is this yours?
Oh.
I thought that was 2. It's a little bit confusing to use it in this sentence. It's not the same as when we use your sentence is a little different than what we were talking about before. Like, it is important to sleep. It's important for kids to sleep. When you say it is ready, that means a thing is actually ready. Like the order is ready or the bed is ready. So I would change it to that. The bed is ready for kids to sleep in. It's clean, it's ready, right? Okay, so we're gonna do one more, and we're gonna see Fei Young. It looks like you're gonna stay in first place with 4 points. Walter and Amani, you both have 2 points. So this is going to be the second place tiebreaker. And then we'll be done, okay? Let's see. I want you to use, let's see. Okay, I'm just typing it here. I want you to use necessary with for, okay, and an infinitive, and it has to be in a question. Okay, this is going. Okay, Fei Young, go ahead.
Is it necessary for students to go to school?
Yeah. Is it necessary for students to go to school? That's a good one. 2
I think
points.
I can add another. Is it necessary for students to go to school during this pandemic?
Yeah, that's good. During this pandemic. I like that. Okay, good job. So Fei Young gets 2 points. Anybody else? Walter, go ahead.
Okay. It's necessary for a runner to exercise every day. Oh, it's
Okay. Yeah. I was about to say, is that a question or a sentence?
okay.
You have to start with is. So how do you start it with is?
Is it
It's my time.
necessary?
Yeah, just take your same sentence, Walter, but make it a question.
Okay. Is it necessary for a runner to exercise every day?
But is it necessary for a runner to exercise every day? As a question, that's perfect. So good job. 0 points
Okay.
because you didn't get it right the first time. But let's see, Amani, did you raise your hand? Do you have one?
Oh, he
Yeah.
didn't.
Is it necessary for drivers to drive on a speed limit?
Yes. Is it necessary for drivers to drive, and you said on the speed limit?
To the to
Limit?
to the speed limit?
I would say with speed limit, we just say drive the speed limit or drive under the speed limit,
Oh
but
yeah, and
not. So is it necessary for drivers to drive under the speed limit? Yeah, I'll give you a point for that because your only mistake was with that little preposition at the end. Under the speed limit. So we have Fei Young with 6 points, the winner. And Amani, you had 3 points, your second place. Walter, third place, and 2. I don't know what happened to 2. I didn't hear from her. Whose sentence is this on the very bottom? Blackboard.
that was mine.
Oh, okay. Blackboard is ready for us to complete our sentences on or in, depending on how you see it. The blackboard, like we write on the board. So we want to keep that preposition at the end. Okay, guys, was that a fun game? Did everybody practice enough?
Yes.
So we practice enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so homework, exercises 24, 26, 29, and for exercise 29, only choose one sentence to write. And you can email it to me if you want. I just had one sentence. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of a question answer thing for exercise 29. So you can just pick one. So we've got exercise 24, 26, 29, and 31. And the only other homework you have is your lab assignment and the Go React video. Let's see, what was the Go React? I don't remember what the topic was, but it's in there. Also, the discussion board activity. Thank you for participating in that. Go back and check your questions and your answers because I already corrected some of you. You had some mistakes in your questions or in your answers, so you can go and check that. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was fun for me to teach you today. Practice that English, okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys, I'll see you Thursday. Have a great afternoon.
You too.